It's late autumn and we are having a freeze tonight. So I've decided to try and wrap up some of my plants and wanted to show you what I'm up to. So this is a citrus fruit tree of some sort. I still don't know, it's a mystery. And it has its first flowers. So I'm going to cover this up. I'm just going to hang an old tarp over that. I have many of my plants are just flowering for the first time, and it's really frustrating to know that they are going to freeze tonight. So we just have one really bad freeze for the next 10 days. It's going to get down to about 30, that's Fahrenheit. So I think I will lose quite a few plants, which is really sad. But I'm going to try and cover up as much as I can without making it obnoxious, because unfortunately it's a lot of work and takes a lot of time. I am going to try and save some of this blue basil. It's just fantastic because every day it's covered in bees and butterflies, and it would be really too sad to lose this amazing attractor of pollinators. So I'm going to just put a ladder over it with a duvet over the top of that and see if we can try and keep the cold off. Some of these plants I'm going to carry into the house. These are really indoor plants, but I had them out for the summer. And my geraniums I'll just put into the garage. That should keep them just enough, just warm enough so that they don't freeze all the way. I planted a bunch of seeds late in the summer, and so I have my first cosmos here, and I think it should be fine. I'll just put a chair over that. And then in the background, this is a moonflower, and that came up from a seed from last year, but it hasn't started flowering yet. So I will try and save that. A lot of these plants are fairly hardy, but I'm still getting to know what will last through the cold weather. And because it's such a short freeze, it just seems like a waste to let everything die, because we could still have another month or two of really nice weather. This is another moonflower in the background. This one had flowered quite a bit. There's some beautiful big seed pods, and the freeze should not damage the seed pods. They'll just dry out some more, but they should be fine. I think these are a lot more tender, and I'm assuming these are all going to freeze. These are Cape gooseberries, and they're just full of tiny little buds. Such a bummer. But for some reason they just did not take off and start growing early enough this year. These have been flowering for probably a couple months now, so it'll be sad to lose them. And fortunately they are pretty hardy, and last year we had a 5-day freeze and snow, and they came back just fine. This is a ginger plant in here, so I'll just have to dig up the ginger because I think that will freeze, and it's going to be too much to try and keep all of those covered. Here we have an elderberry, and elderberries actually like to have some cold, so it'll probably freeze, but the leaves will fall off and it'll come back next year. And the same with the peppermint. Mint can be fairly hardy, and sometimes the mint will actually be growing right through the snow for a while until you've had a really deep freeze. So I'm going to cover up a few of these, and then we'll check back after the freeze for the next, I think it's going to be about 28 to 30 hours of cold. So hopefully it's not too much and I'm able to still enjoy some flowers for the next while until the true winter actually hits us, which is usually in about January. It's unusual to have this much cold in the early part of November in South Carolina, but But hopefully it's not going to cause too much trouble, and we'll be able to still have loads of flowers and plants still looking quite good as the next month or two goes by. I'm just looking at this lavender and I see it looks like it's actually got little buds on the top of all of those, so I don't know that those will flower after the cold. This is a geranium. It's a fantastic plant. It's a citronella geranium and does a really good job keeping mosquitoes at bay. It's nice to have right near where you're sitting because you just brush your fingers on it and it lets off a wonderful aroma of citronella, and the mosquitoes don't like that at all. And it's a fairly hardy plant, but I don't think it likes a deep freeze. So I may just put a pot or something over that just to cover it up and keep that growing. I'm curious if the bird bath will freeze. We've had a few days where that's happened, but not too many times in the last few years.